Today's lesson on life is a necessary tool for success. Faith. This month, I'll be combining the lesson on life and the Speaking to Your Life segments to bring you a special 5-part series. I'll be educating, inspiring, and empowering the community with a message of hope in a time when people are lost, hurting, and looking for something to hold on to. This message is for those who are young and mature, who need something that will help them to overcome depression, anxiety, anger, fear, and the haters, but most importantly, get past yourself. The message is going to help you move forward in life, in love, and in your career. It is a necessary tool for success. Stay tuned to find out what I have to say about this acronym, FAITH. There's something here for you. Faith, the I. Dating. Got to give you a couple of tips in this I love you, I lust you. Dr. Perry's Laws of Attraction. I got to give you all the quick version, okay? The whole seminar devoted to this, but I had to give you this because you need it, okay? 2 things. Who are you attracted to? I know who you're attracted to. I can see them too, okay? Are they good for you? That is the question. And you know they're not good for you, some of them. Okay? That is the thing. So that is one. You need to understand who you're attracted to, okay? And why you're attracted to that type of person. Because all of you have a type. We all have a type. I didn't marry my type. That's the weird thing that happens when you get older. You know, you have a type. You don't marry the type. Now, some people, they marry the type and they're not all that happy. They thought they wanted the type. You know, you got a type. Got a type. Mm-hmm. Them types can get you in trouble. Them types on the front of the magazine. Them types inside the magazine. Them types, you know them types I'm talking about. Them types get you in trouble. Sometimes them types are not the ones you're supposed to marry. Just look at them from a distance. Admire. Admire, okay? I'm not going to go further, but I need you to know who you're attracted to. And some of that stuff is based on our insecurities. Some of it's based on our own pain. And some of it's not based on anything. We can, on one hand, I say all the time to my students, we say one thing, but we date something else. Like, oh, I want a good man. I want a good girl, you know? That's what we say, right? But then you date somebody. Some of you think about the person you're dating right now, okay? You know they are not a nice person. They don't have any of those characteristics that you pointed out. They not nice. They don't know how to talk to their grandmother. You know, they don't pick you up on time. When was the last time they took you out to get anything to eat? They ain't got none of the qualities that you said was in a good guy or a good girl. I'm just saying, say one thing, date another one. Number 2, who is attracted to you? I need you to understand this one because you're young enough where a lot of people are going to be trying to pick you up. Okay, and tell you things, and I know every one of you are smart enough, okay, but I need to have you understand this piece. Some people are going to be attracted to you because of your self-esteem. Some people are going to be attracted to you because of the way you look, because you don't talk, because you talk a lot, and they don't. Some people are attracted because you want to go to school, and they know you're going to be somebody. Some people are attracted to you because they feel like they know certain things about you. What are you putting off? What are you giving off? What are you telling people? Are you being real with who you are? So sometimes people are not honest. I need you to be honest with who you are. Because when you're honest with who you are, you will get what it is you're supposed to get in a relationship. Okay? When we lie, men and women, about who we are, you won't get in a relationship with somebody who thinks that you are that way. But when you are you, genuinely you, the beautiful you that you are, every part of you, everything that you love to do, there's nothing boring about you. Everything that you are supposed to be, somebody will love that. Somebody will love you just the way you are. Don't try to be anything else. And beware of the people who are attracted to you because they think they can put you down. Attracted to you because they think they can take advantage of you. Attracted because they think you have low self-esteem. Be aware of those people who are always stalking and talking to you. Why? Don't be afraid to ask, why do you like me? What is it about me that you like? I would like to know. Okay? You got to tell me something, okay? Because it's there. What is that you see that's attracting you to me? Well, you have nice legs. That's all. Don't be afraid to ask. I'm just saying, okay? And so I hear this all the time, and so I have to start with this name claiming or the lack thereof. Well, I don't want to put too much pressure on a relationship. Yes, you do. Because that's the point of a relationship, is that we're in it. It's not we're in it, I think, and you got to wait till somebody's introducing you and be like, so what are we? So how do I introduce you? What do I tell my friends that, are we just friends or what? But I find so many young people, they're afraid to have that little conversation with another person. What is that? What is that all about? You need to have that conversation. Again, don't be afraid to say, well, what is this? What's going on? What is this? Are we dating? Are you my boyfriend, my girlfriend? Don't be afraid to ask the question. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Just because you are afraid to say, what is this? What's going on? Okay? Don't be afraid to name claim. Exclusivity and monogamy, what is that? And should it be assumed? And how do you know? I need you can do your own research, but I need you to just to understand that, there's a lot of stuff about relationships, being with one person. Yes, I still believe in that. Okay, I do. That's my personal opinion. And I think that most people do, but most people are afraid to have that conversation. And again, don't be afraid to have that conversation if that's the kind of relationship that you want. Okay? You need to understand this because this is a huge thing that's going on in our high schools and in our college, especially in college. Know what it is that you want. That's just like knowing how you want to be treated. Because if you don't, some people will mistreat you. And I don't want to see you get your hearts broken. Okay, so I'm not going to do the definition of dating, okay? But what is it I want you to think about, and what might a date look like? This is the last thing I want to talk about here, because so many people also, my young people, don't know what a date should look like. I heard a young lady say, well, we went on a date, and we had fun, but it was, it was nothing special, and, it's supposed to be special. And she was like, well, was it a date? Why are you asking me? Why didn't you ask him? And y'all didn't discuss this again at the beginning when y'all set the date? Well, we didn't really talk about it. We just said we'd meet up. When it was y'all just meeting up. Okay? But I want my beautiful young people, when you are there, when your parents allow you to date, to understand what a date should look like. Okay? Some of the do's and the don'ts. Because some people are doing the wrong things on what they call a date, and I don't. Okay? I'm not talking about that. Okay? Talking is a part of dating. Okay? Some people don't even communicate. How can you be dating and you don't talk? That's not part of dating. Some people need to understand this whole hanging out at that person's house. Don't do that. Don't do that. And especially when you get to college. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hanging out at other people's house comes with an expectation that you came to my house. You can read it in between the lines. Okay? I'm just saying. Group date. Our group date school? Yes. Group dates are wonderful, okay? It's great for conversation. It keeps it where you can get to know each other. You're around some friends. You have a lot of fun. You can talk a little bit, laugh a little bit, talk a little bit, laugh a little bit. Group dates are where it's at, okay? Some of that individual stuff at the beginning, it'll make your relationship move too fast. And that is not what you want. Because you're fast and somebody else is fast, might not be the same fast. Read in between the lines. I'm just saying, lastly, get to know me. The biggest part of dating. What does this person know about you? What do you know about them? Ladies, I got to caution you because you do most of the talking. Be careful not to share your whole life story. Because guys, what do y'all do? And some of my guys might have heard me say this. Guys, we're going to help the ladies understand something. Ladies, don't take offense to this, okay? When you're doing all that talking on the phone, no judgment. Guys, you with me? You paying attention? You're on the phone with someone and they're doing a lot of talking. What are you doing on the other end of the phone?
Playing the game.
Playing games, maybe sending a text message, because you can do that now, at the same time, watching TV, listening to music in one ear. Anything but talk. So don't take offense while you sharing your whole life story. But that must mean that your whole life story too long. Okay? I don't have time to teach you active listening, which is being a part of the conversation. Don't get to the point where you're talking so much that the other person don't have an opportunity. And I know what you're going to say, but they don't never had nothing to say. When I ask him to talk, he be like, oh no. What you want me to say? I don't got nothing to say. Okay? But you have to learn how to communicate effectively and with one another and let it be balanced. That's why it's important as young people to do activities together too, because that builds conversation. So you can talk about the things that you do together and you get to know one another. And I know, guys, sometimes it might be difficult questions. It may seem difficult to have to share, but it really helps you to get to know you, because once you say things out loud, it helps you to understand who you are. So you're going to have to be pushed a little bit, some of you. Not Markel. Okay? Some of you are a little bit more verbal. Okay? But it's important. The biggest thing is that during dating, it's supposed to be a time that you get to know each other. You understand? Not all that other stuff. Read between the lines. Get to know you. Get to know you. You build on that, okay? Until you get old enough where you're ready for other things. Build on that. Breakup prevention. A couple of things I want to say. Repeat steps 1, 2, and 3. So people say, well, how can I not be in a relationship that we won't break up? There is no guarantee, okay? But you can have a healthy relationship. You really can. How to make it last. I've been married for 17 years. I've been with my husband for 20. I know I look young. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, okay? And I still love my husband. And not only do I love him, but I like him. Okay? And so I tell people that is a difference, because you can love somebody and not like them. I'm just saying, okay? And so I want to give you just a couple of tips. One, you have to learn really good communication. Okay? When you want to have a great relationship, you have to learn, start practicing now. Not every relationship that you're in is going to last forever, but learn from every relationship how to be your best and not to take the past into your present or your future. 2, it's what you say and how you say it. I always tell when I'm doing a communication exercise or workshop, men have a way of raising their voices or talking louder or, being macho, and they think that that makes us listen. I need you to blah, 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 okay? Doesn't faze women, okay? Women, like the Rihanna song, I always tell my students, it don't sound nice, but I'm going to say it anyway, you're ugly when you cry. Okay, y'all know that piece of the song. I don't know all the song, but I heard that part, and I was like, I'm going to use that in my workshops, okay? Because I don't think that women understand when you run in all that stuff, and the cry face. That's not cute. Somebody is looking at you, okay? And so I know you think that I'm going to cry and I'm going to get my way. Guys don't think that way. They don't think that's cute. That might have worked with your mama, your daddy, when you was little and they gave you the cookie because they were like, oh, baby, it's okay. That don't work in relationships. That don't work, okay? And I'm just saying it don't work. So you're going to cry sometimes, but don't use it and think that that emotional outburst is going to help you, okay? You have to read my book to learn more, okay? But men, don't be raising your voice. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to talk. Learn how women like when you talk. They love to hear an intelligent guy, okay? Say it like you mean it, not with force, but with love, and know what it is you're talking about. She will listen. There aren't many times you can get women to be quiet. But if you make sense and it's compassionate, she'll listen to you, okay? Ladies, okay, we work on us, okay? No crying. Say what it is that you want. And ain't nothing wrong with sprucing up the lip gloss or something too. Okay, I'm just saying, before you sit down to talk. Don't be sitting there with, a hole in your shirt, your hair going this way. Guys they're visual and they're looking at you like, She want me to what? Take her out on a date? I ain't going out with her. She looking all crazy. Okay, I'm just saying, just a couple of tips. That's for free. Tip number 2, conflict management. Learn how to solve your conflict starting now with whoever. Learn how to deal with conflict and understand that problems and conflict is inevitable. Everybody has problems. It's not just you. Okay? Develop a plan together, activate the plan, try out some stuff, and keep it moving. Don't hold on to problems. Don't keep that man or woman on the phone till 3 a.m. Don't be talking about stuff for 3 days. It's not worth it in your life. It's not worth it in my life. I don't like to hold on to stuff. Okay? It's stressful. I got too much going on to be mad at people. Okay? Tip number 3, keep it fresh. I got to do my keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Okay? That's all I say, okay? I need you to date, to laugh, to talk, to spend time together, okay? But understand that you don't need to be together 24/7. So if the person don't return your text 4 hours later, make sure you got something to do. Because why are you sitting around waiting anyway? You ain't got nothing to do but watch the phone, really. I'm just saying, think about that. Have your own life. Understand what you have, something going on. You sitting around waiting for somebody else. Don't ever sit around waiting. Have your own life. I love that my husband loved that I went to school, but I was going to go anyway. And we've been married long enough that he's seen me through most of that education. And it's a good thing that he supported me. And people say that's good that your husband, but he didn't have a choice. I was going anyway. Anybody who knows me know I was going. Okay? Somebody was going to take me to college. I was headed out. Okay? Need you to understand. Keep it fresh. Read with me. I will practice. Trusting. And being. A trustworthy person. I will work on. Loving me. So I can. Effectively. Love others. And so they can. Love me back. Creating a cycle. Of healthy relationships. It's now time for our community resources. I have 2 very special guests with me again from Paul D. Camp Community College, Miss Mary Ellen Gleason, who is the test administrator, and also Miss Teresa Harrison, who is the financial aid coordinator and senior veteran certifying official. Please give them a hand. Welcome, ladies, to the show. How are you?
Oh, very good. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm actually going to start with Ms. Mary Ellen Gleason to talk a little bit about this testing process. I know that some people are like, I have to take a test before I get into school, or I have to do this. And I've known you for a while, and you sort of try and make that process as practical, as simple as possible. So tell us a little bit about your role as a test administrator.
Okay, well, I sort of help to manage the process, and then I administer the test, and then I take the data and I make sure it's clearly put into the system so there's no problems in registration. And if I'm testing high school students for dual enrollment programs, then I send in a spreadsheet the data information, the placement information to the guidance counselors. So our dual enrollment coordinator, Jeanette Pellegrin, has the information as well as the guidance counselors to that particular high school.
Okay, and for some folks who may not understand this whole process at all, I want us to go backwards and actually, so people are entering, they're doing their admissions process, they've just gotten accepted into the school, and then they say, okay, you have to take a test. So will someone contact them, or do they contact you and you contact the students?
Well, the beginning of the process is really with the admissions office, and the students usually sign up there for the test. And they're told then that they have to submit an application with us if they haven't done it already. They will be given several dates and times that they can choose from, and they sign up, and then they come on that day for the process. For the testing. Placement test session, and the session has 2 tests, the math test and then the English test. The math test is actually a pretty sophisticated math test. It's what we call adaptive, and it will give them about a 30-question platform of your basic math questions, and then it will go into a diagnostic series. The first, for example, is on fractions, and and each diagnostic is, skill set focused. It will not take the person further in their math. For example, if they have not had Algebra 2, it's not going to take them into that kind of level.
I was going to ask you that, because this can be scary.
It can be. It can be, and that's what I hear a lot from people. They'll say, well, I haven't been in school for 15, 10, 20 years. And a lot of times I'll say, well, I've tested people who've been out of school for 30 years too, and even longer than that. But this test is, and I think the whole community college mission is designed to take people exactly where they are. And move them forward. After the math test comes the English test. There are 2 parts to that. The writing test, they have to write. Now, I also happen to be an English teacher, so I sometimes speak as a test administrator and an English teacher. I give them some tips on how to write, so I'm just not throwing them into the water here, but I give them some tips, and then they submit that. Then they have a reading portion that is a reading comprehension test. They'll have several passages they read, and they'll have 40 multiple choice questions. At that point, they're finished with the actual, what we call the VPT placement test. We have, Paul DeCamp requires a short technology test, very short, very simple, and most people do quite well. Even people who are a little bit afraid of it do quite well. So that's the session. It typically takes about 3 hours, but it's an on-time test. So some people take more time, some people take less time. The point is that we try and keep the environment, my coordinator and I try and keep the environment very quiet, relaxed. Exactly. That's what we're aiming for. And it's important for people to know that it's not the placement test itself is not something that defines you. It's something that begins your journey with the community college.
And I love that you said that. And I just want to add that it's just sort of going to help you to figure out where you need to be as you enter into your classes, what level of math you need to be taking so that you can be successful. This is not a test that's about failure or a test that's going to keep you out of school. So we don't want you to be afraid of going through the admissions process and going through the testing process because you think I'm going to fail. This is not about failure. This is about succeeding, and you have wonderful people like Miss Mary Ellen Gleason to help you through this process. So give her a hand again.
I'd like to add on to that we do have study guides in the admissions office, and too many people don't take advantage of that, and they ended up taking classes they don't need to take, developmental classes, because they just didn't study and refresh themselves on what they learned back in high school. So I encourage all students to take advantage of the study guides and take it seriously, because that can help you to get ahead faster.
Thank you so much, because I did mean to mention that we do have had card copy practice books. We also have some websites on our webpage for placement testing that they can access. So.
And you're going to get Ms. Gleason's information, so you can call her and talk to her more about those pieces of information as well. But this other woman of wealth of information is Ms. Teresa Harrison, who actually is the financial aid coordinator here at Paul DeCamp Community College. She can be at any campus at any point, but she is a wealth of information. Tell us a little bit about the financial aid programs that we have going on.
Well, it's funny you should ask. We've always had the grants, which, Pell Grants are the biggest program. We do several million a year in Pell Grants to our students, but this year we are actually implementing federal student loans for the first time in over 20 years.
20 years, wow.
Yeah, because even though we are dedicated to providing a debt-free education for students, unfortunately tuition does keep going up, and our Pell Grants are not keeping pace. So we really want to make sure everybody has what they need to go to school, but we ask that students borrow responsibly. Try to get scholarships or take a payment plan if you can do that, but if you can't, the loans are there. It's another resource, and so we do have that available. It all starts with the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid, free being the key word. So if students go to the wrong website, they'll know it because it'll ask them to pay for that application.
Money, don't do it.
Go to .gov, not .com.
FAFSA.gov, not .com.
Thank you. So within 3 to 5 business days, we get the results of that as long as they have applied to the college. And then we can tell them if there's anything else that needs to be done from that point forward. We do generally email students at their student email account here at the college. So sometimes students don't realize they've been assigned that, and so if they come in or they call, we're going to try and set them down at the computer or talk them through how to access that, because we want to teach them to fish. So many people are doing it at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., they need to know that information when they need to know it, not when we're open. So.
Yes, and we talked in an early episode about the FAFSA and the importance of parents working together when we're talking about our high school career coaches. For those of you who are, grown-ups and you're doing this process by yourself, you have another resource and a whole staff of financial aid representative that can help you through this process, because there's so much to financial aid.
There is.
And I wish I could spend more time with you, because there's so much that we could share. I know you have veterans benefits and services.
We do.
For our folks who are looking to get an education, so many services for veterans, and I don't know if they know half of them sometimes.
Probably not. Unfortunately, there's such a wealth of information that people don't know where to start.
Yes.
So for veterans benefits, the GI Bill website is the best place to start, gibill.va.gov.
Okay.
We also have a link to it from our website if they can't find it.
Awesome.
But that is the best place to start the application process. We also encourage them to file for financial aid. The two are not mutually exclusive, so they could get both. And
apply
that's
for everything.
Yeah, that's wonderful, especially if they qualify for the free money, and then they can use that for their living expenses, their transportation, buy a computer, whatever it is that they need to be successful here.
I'm glad that you said all that. I didn't want to stop you. I know a lot of people also, you said like multiple things. Many people don't want to apply for the scholarships. Many times people aren't applying for the scholarships and they just left because you think someone else is going to apply for the scholarship. And that could have been extra money, extra $500 towards your education.
Right. $500 you might not have to borrow.
Exactly.
And all those things start early. So folks don't usually realize how early the process can be started. So here at Paul D. Kemp, we actually have a pretty late deadline for both of those. That's June 1st.
Okay.
We're clearly past that now since tomorrow's July 1st.
Yes.
However, we do have scholarships in the spring, and it's not too late to file the FAFSA.
Okay.
It's never too late to file the FAFSA.
Awesome.
They could actually file for last year through today. So that's, a long time. But the point is that if they start early, they're going to know more information early. They're going to have time to get through all those processes, get options, know what you have, know what you still need.
Yes.
And when they go on to a four-year school, they're going to need to do that earlier, like mid-February, mid-March. So we do have a pretty late date, but still there is a deadline to try to get the most amount of free money.
Free money, okay?
That's the key.
So much more I want to say, but I'm going to stop talking now. I want to give a big hand to Ms. Teresa Harrison, Ms. Mary Ellen Gleason. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to have you come back and talk about financial aid in this admissions process, because it's a lot of information. Special thanks to Dr. William Aiken, our president of Paul D. Kemp Community College and the Franklin community, for supporting these series. God bless you, and thank you so much for watching. It's life-changing.